Through the BSA National Council, a local council issues a charter to organizations that organize Sea Scout ships, as well as all other scouting units. By accepting the charter, an organization agrees to provide a ship with a good Sea Scout program under the best available leadership. The ship committee is appointed by the chartered organization and should consist of a minimum of 3 active adults, with the ultimate being 5 or 6 active adults. The committee is also responsible for the selection of the skipper, mates, and the general program support of the ship. Sea Scout programs are developed and run by youth members who elect officers for planning and conducting the program. The youth leaders in a ship are not called president, vice president, or secretary. Rather, the positions reflect officer positions aboard a vessel. The adult advisors of a ship consist of a skipper, 1 to 3 mates, and adult committee members. Sea Scout youth officers include a bosun and a bosun's mate for program and a bosun's mate for administration, a purser, a yeoman, storekeeper, crew leaders and assistant crew leaders, and activity chairs. There are numerous responsibilities for both adult and Sea Scout members, but here are just a few for each. The adult skipper functions much like a scoutmaster. This person is the key adult leader of a ship. The skipper's mates assist with various administrative and program tasks. The Sea Scout bosun puts together meeting agendas, oversees all the youth officers, and serves as the liaison between the youth and the skipper. The bosun's mate for administration provides leadership for recruiting new members into the ship, and the bosun's mate for program coordinates the instructional portion of every meeting. The purser tracks income and expenses of the ship and collects all dues and fees. The storekeeper oversees equipment procurement, maintenance, and use. The yeoman takes notes and keeps the ship's meeting log. And activity chairs consult with the bosun and skipper regarding assigned activities, as well as the planning, promotion, and evaluation of events. In Sea Scouts, youth are acknowledged for the things they learn and do through 4 ranks of advancement: apprentice, ordinary, able, and quartermaster. Each level of advancement marks their growth as seamen and leaders. Reaching quartermaster, as prestigious as earning Boy Scouts Eagle rank, means a youth has developed such a sophisticated skill set that both the Navy and the Coast Guard will enlist that youth at a higher pay grade. From apprentice to quartermaster, youth develop lifelong skills and are able to earn valuable certifications in scuba diving, boating safety, life-saving, and CPR. For additional information about the Sea Scout organization, as well as the ship's code and bylaws, consult the Sea Scout Manual. Typically, Sea Scout ships meet weekly or twice a month for general meetings and have at least 1 activity each month. The youth officers, called a quarterdeck, and skipper meet once a month to track the ship's program. The ship's program is settled, planned, and executed by the youth, with guidance from the skipper and support from the ship's adult committee and parents. Planning a ship's annual program is an important multi-step process. The first step is quarterdeck training, which follows officer elections. This is an orientation and planning meeting conducted by the skipper and bosun working as a leadership team. Similar to an annual planning conference, quarterdeck training focuses on program possibilities, setting goals, and establishing a calendar of events for the year. The key to growing a strong program is having fun with activities that encourage the application of skills learned and letting the youth handle as much of the decision-making as possible. Part of the long-range planning you will want the quarterdeck to prepare is the tour and activity plan. While the youth may not be able to enter the information online, they can certainly make sure they have accurate leadership contact information, vehicle and insurance information for adult drivers, a description of the activity, and the travel itinerary. The meeting's activity can be led by youth, a knowledgeable adult leader, or even a guest consultant. Most importantly, the program should always reflect the goals the ship has set and the program the youth have designed. Not only will youth be preparing and training for future outings, but they will most likely be acquiring advancement skills at the same time. Before closing, the skipper always gets a minute to praise, coach, and inspire. The Sea Scout Manual provides more details and outlines for a typical quarterdeck meeting, including a checklist of typical items for a ship's meeting agenda, as well as suggestions for the coaching of skills. The quarterdeck should prepare the tour and activity plan for any trip of 500 miles or more, trips outside of council borders unless it is a council-owned property, trips to BSA high adventure locations, and other national and regional events. The youth activity chair for any ship water activity should also be taught to prepare the float plan that will remain with an adult on shore. Learning to plan itineraries, think about safety equipment, and all other details that must be recorded are important life skills, as well as the habits of a safe and smart boater. On the Pacific Coast, you'll find Sea Scouts operating large, retired military vessels and sailing large boats in water that is vast and deep. The Gulf Coast has shallow, warm water, and Sea Scouts sail year-round. On the Atlantic Coast and Chesapeake Bay area, Sea Scouts will primarily be on large sailing vessels. But ships on the Great Lakes sail in the summer and ice boat in the winter. During the boating season, every member of the ship has a chance to try their hand at the helm, to trim the sails, and learn safe and proper methods of handling boats. Sea Scouts learn the meaning of buoys and lights, how to take advantage of wind and tide, and how to drop anchor or approach a dock. Day, weekend, and long cruises are held for all ship members, and the skills acquired through Sea Scouts often lead to careers related to the maritime industry.